What's good, Stopde? Welcome back to another video here on FIFA Mobile 22. So today we have our guide for the Team of the Year promo. I know it's a few days since the promo started, but I want to make sure I really understood this event, really understood what we need to get, what you can get for free in this promo, just kind of grinding it through day to day, how hard the different parts are going to be in terms of, how difficult the challenge mode was, how much, you're going to have to invest in the market, use the market to try and get the players you need to get what you want out of this event. So we're going to break everything down for you in this one. But a quick sort of here's what you can get: one Team of the Year starter, one Team of the Year midfielder, and one Team of the Year defender, and quite possibly even one Ultimate Team of the Year player as well, and then a few of the nominee players you're going to be able to get in there too, and even some of the premium nominee players. Now, the one thing I want you to keep in mind is for the attackers, it looks like you're only going to be able to get Mbappe. Mbappe is the only card that you will have enough points, even if you use all the token trade-ins to get that card. You're going to be about 20-30 points short of Lewandowski in terms of being able to try and get the attacker points for him. I think you're actually in the end going to be like 5 attacker points short of him. So you could use some gems if you wanted to kind of pick up the additional things you need for that, but we'll kind of explain that more in detail when we get closer to it. In terms of the midfield and defenders, we don't actually know the cost of them, and in past seasons, midfielders and defenders have actually been cheaper than the attackers. So it would be something, I think last season was like something like 200 or 175 was the cheapest attacker, and 100 was the cheapest midfielder, so a lot cheaper in there. So it's possible that we may actually be able to get the higher level midfielder or defender cards. So what I would say with your Team of the Year tokens, and those are the ones that you get and can trade into the 3 different sets, do not spend them all right away. Wait to see how much it's going to cost for midfielders, defenders, because if you spent all of them on attackers and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, midfielders and defenders are going to be a bit cheaper, and you're like, I could have got them, but I used all my tokens. That's going to suck, right? So we're going to get into this. We're going to break this down for you. We're going to tell you what you can get. We're going to tell you what you need to do. Let's go. Okay, so when we get in here, Team of the Year is broken basically into 2 main parts of this. The Team of the Year event, the challenge mode that keeps repeating throughout the weeks. So the first thing I'm just going to talk about is the challenge mode here. If you have difficulty beating the challenge mode, beating this last finals match, we did post a video. I'll post a link to that in the description below of us beating PSG with a gold squad. So just kind of give you some tips and tricks. Best way for you to do this if you want to try and beat that one. So you can watch that video here. Not going to go into too much detail there because you can go watch that video, and I want to mainly focus on what you need to do the event. But if you complete this whole thing, you get 500 of these points. In total, across the entire event, that will give you 3,500 extra attacker points, 3,500 extra midfielder points, and 3,500 extra defender points, and 450 of the Team of the Year tokens. Then what we also have is we can go into this main chapter and we have our daily plays that we go through. This actually, I say daily, but it actually resets twice a day. These reset every 12 hours. And you get 25 Team of the Year tokens for the first one, 50 for the last one, so twice a day will give you 150 a day. And you can get 370 of that week's points. So in this one, it's going to be attacker points. So these attacker points, they're not transferable across it, but the Team of the Year tokens are the ones that we can trade in and use to get us extra midfield, defender, or attacker points, depending on which ones we want. So this will basically be an extra 370 a day. So in week 2, these are going to become midfielder points. In week 3, these are going to become defender points. And then in week 4, 5, and 6, as we saw in the guide online that FIFA Mobile posted, it's just going to rotate between them. So if we assume they kind of rotate equally between them, that gives you a total from the daily playing of 5,180 attacker, 5,180 midfield, 5,180 defender, and 6,300 Team of the Year tokens, because that's going to be every day across the whole event. With those Team of the Year tokens, you can come over here and you can trade it into one of these 3 sets. The midfielder one is going to unlock when midfielders unlock. The defender one is going to unlock in 12 days when the defenders unlock. You can buy the attacker ones right now, but you want to be very careful with that. And like I said, because once you buy the attacker ones, you do get the 60 attacker points from it. But if we did midfielder, we could get 60 midfield points from it. And so this is where I'm saying we kind of want to get an idea of how many midfield points we're going to need, since you're not really going to need to use this. You don't actually need to use this trade-in thing to get a Team of the Year starter player. You can get a Team of the Year starter player just from playing through the events, playing the challenge mode, beating the challenge mode each time, and getting the stuff from the free pass that you're going to get. So you don't need to do the trade-in to get there. It could help you if you're missing a few days, miss a challenge mode, whatever that is, but always save up to this till the end, till you have an idea of what you want to get with this. In total from there, we're going to also get Team of the Year tokens. In total, we get 13,130 of the attacker, midfield, and defender once we get all the points together, which will give us enough to claim all 3 of these Team of the Year token bonus offers, which gives us an additional 1,800 in the milestones that you have. So in total, you can do the token trade-in 76 times, which guarantees you actually 7 Team of the Year nominee players, which is kind of cool too. So you get 7 Team of the Year nominee players because once you've done it 10 times, actually I think on your 11th time you end up getting a guaranteed one, but still that would still give you enough Team of the Year nominees because it fills up. Then you get a new Team of the Year guaranteed, and you could potentially get more because you do have a chance, while very low, you do have a chance technically of packing a Team of the Year nominee in one of these packs as well. So that's basically what we got for getting those ones. Once we go in here, you can also get them from the daily quests. 50 tokens for scoring 25 goals and 150 for winning 2 division rival matches. And that again corresponds to the week that we're on. So in total from the daily quest, you can get 2,100 Team of the Year tokens, 2,100 attacker, midfielder, defender by the end of this promo. Last way to get points in this one is going to be from the Star Pass. Now, the Star Pass, again, you can grind that just by playing head-to-head, playing Verse Attack, doing the daily quests, all those different things. Once you get all the way to the end, and this is the big thing, is you do need to, it's going to take a little while to get all the way to the end, but once you get all the way to the end, first of all, you get Emmanuel Petit, which is very cool, and you are going to get a total amount of points of 2,350 for attacker, midfielder, and defender, and 850 of the Team of the Year tokens, again, that you can trade in. Okay, so now that we know how to get all of the points, those are the ways to get all the points. That's how you maximize out your points for a total of 13,130 attacker, midfielder, and defender without doing any of the trade-ins. So that's before the trade-ins, and 11,500 of the Team of the Year tokens, which would equate to a bonus total of 4,560 with 76 trade-ins from the tokens. So again, you could do a couple attacker, midfield, defender. You can sort of break it up however you need to there, but be careful with that. Wait until we know how much the other players are going to cost before you do that. So here's what each one is going to look like. And as I said at the start of this video, typically in past seasons, as we've gone to lower overall players with some of the midfielders and defenders, these prices actually change. So we had one in the previous season where I think the lowest one was 175 for your lowest attacker, and it was like 100 for the lowest midfielder. So it is possible that you may actually be able to get the second, or even maybe if it's really great, maybe even you can get like the third highest midfielder out of that one. So again, we don't know what they're going to offer for us with that, so that's why we want to wait till next week to sort of get a better idea if we want to spend the points. But really what you just do, spend your points along the way. These nodes are the really important ones. These are the ones where you're going to get the majority of your points from. So with every single one, we're going to want to go all the way over to this point right here, which is 100 Team of the Year starter tokens. For midfielder, be 100 midfielder tokens, and it will be 100 defender tokens when we get to that one. This is going to cost you, to get to this point on the path, it costs 10,835 points. So if we take that away from the 13,130 points that we get for each one without the trade, and that will leave us with only 2,295 additional points remaining. So we have 2,295 additional points remaining to do whichever one of these trade-ins we want to do. So if you go into here, you can see Jonathan David's unlocked, for example. We go into here for 1,000 points, we can do this trade-in. But I do also need that base Jonathan David. We can get him from the market, or we can get lucky and we can try and pack him. If you do that, you get a premium animated version of the card, which I think is actually even higher overall there. And then we would get 10 attacker starter points for that one. And then as you continue to go up in there, you get more attacker starter points, but also, as you get more attacker starter points, it's going to cost you more. So 3,000 for this one, which would give you 30 attacker starter points out of that one, and you would need his base Team of the Year version as well. So in order for you to get Lewandowski, and this is what I'm talking about for Lewandowski, for example, you would need to complete this set twice, and you would need to complete this one once. One of these players here one time. The total cost of that, though, this is going to cost you here, if we go into this, 5,000 points for this, and 2,000 points to do the first one twice, so an additional 7,000 points. But if we take the 4,560 bonus points, add that to the 2,000 that we have already there, we're not going to quite have enough. We're only going to have 6,855 points, and we're going to need 7,000. So like I said, you're about 150 points short of being able to get that, all the players you need to get Lewandowski. So Mbappe looks like we can get for sure. Unsure about if we get Lewandowski. Sometimes, you know, things come up in these promos later on that makes it easier for us to get trade-ins, those kind of things. So what I would suggest is that, you know, hold off on really going all in on one player right away, unless you're really just trying to make coins on the market or whatever that is. The last thing that we can get out of this, we can get the ultimate points. So you get the ultimate points every time you claim a starter player. It's going to cost a minimum of 150 to get a team of the year. And so that's a minimum, which means your highest overall ones, like your Messi and stuff like that, he's probably going to cost you, you know, a lot more than that. We don't know how much more, but probably going to be a fair amount more than that to do it. So you're going to get one of the lower players when you do it. You also do need the player itself to trade it in. So I don't just need 150 points. I also need that starter to trade into there. So it says exchange the team of the year starter and the 150. I'm assuming that also, just like the other nominee players, you could get it from the market, or you could get it by packing it in that one. So that's what we get with the ultimate team of the year players that we have. So again, as we go along this, that's how we're going to be able to claim the players and claim the paths. So you need the player and you need the tokens to do this. So don't be like, oh, I need the player, buy a bunch of players, and then forget that you also need that 5,000 points in order to claim this as well. But again, as I said, that does give you the Team of the Year starter tokens, which does go up with each one that you end up having. So as we sort of conclude this, basically what we're kind of looking at with this is you're going to have an additional 2,000 points that you can spend. So you could do a couple of these lower ones. Or the other thing that you could do, right, is as we kind of start to go through this, we have 4,560 extra points. Maybe what makes most sense in the end is that we would take the points that we have for here, the 2,000 extra points we'd have for each one, and, you know, you add an extra sort of 1,000 for each of the other ones to try and do the one that's going to cost you 3,000 points for the trade-in. Again, it's going to depend on how many points we need for the midfielders, how many points we need for the defenders, and all of those different things, which we don't know the answer to yet, because we're going to find that out in the subsequent weeks as it goes forward. But hopefully this helped you to sort of break down the promo, know what you need to do in this promo. But we'll update this again once we know more information about the midfielders and the defenders. But thank you for checking this out and stopping by. It's been a pleasure as always, Stopde.